My mother actually was a starlet, and she decided that she just wanted to act, and she wasn't interested in the competition of the world of feature films, and she married my dad, and she moved to Shaker Heights, Ohio, and she worked at the Cleveland Playhouse for 30 years, and I grew up in the wings. So I have been drenched in drama from word go. I started off, when I first came to New York, thinking I was going to be a director. I was interested in performance pieces, and I was interested in shaping them. And as time passed, I realized that I was obsessed with rhythm, and I was obsessed with the part that wasn't coming through language. And I evolved into a composer. It's interesting when you talk about the audience, because of course you know these days that people finish a film and the first thing they say is, oh God, find me a middle-aged Caucasian woman to do this film. So I don't think about the audience, because if I think about the audience, I start thinking, do I have to write music for my kids? Because that's the audience. I mean, right? Isn't that the demographic now? I don't know. The soap operas were so long ago, and they were really, really fun. And I really learned a lot. A guy who had used me in about 950,000 off-Broadway projects for at least $20 a piece. I know he liked my music, but I think his impulse also was to have me be in a venue where I could make some money. And it turned out to be really a hoot, and I learned a lot. Because if someone says to you, I want a tension cue, and I want it to be really sexy, and I want it to be sexy and hot and tension, but I don't want any percussion, and I'd like you to use a trombone, you learn something. And it was great. And I was very surprised by how much I loved it and how much I learned. And the people who do that work, I mean, their level of professionalism is unbelievable, because they're making a 1-hour film a day. I've always been involved in collaboration, and music is what I usually bring to the party. So I always have been issue-driven, and I took a brief interlude when I decided I was going to reproduce, and I didn't want to be dependent on anyone, so I decided to let network television drop needle on my music. And I did what I wanted in 5 or 6 years, and I put it in the bank, and then I never went back to that again. And I just kept, I kept engaged with issues I felt passionately about, or stories I thought needed to be told. And invariably, the work I get is, I like to leave good music in my wake. I like to do that. But it's really my relationship with directors or people I'm launching projects with that has determined everything I've done.